Alright. Hello everybody and welcome back to Into the Mists. This is episode 8, World vs. World now and in the future. So, let's go into World vs. World a little bit. We have a couple things to talk about today. First up is kind of essentially the lack of anything new with World vs. World. ArenaNet's been actually quiet on it until very recently, and even then they really still don't have a whole lot to say. Let's go ahead and pull up Firefox here and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So, going into the World vs. World forums on guildwars2.com, I have please read the new sticky thread above. It's basically a thread about do not revive old threads. They will punish you. Basically, nothing interesting has happened in this forums for so long. People are resurrecting old threads just to stir up some shit. Wow, that's bad. So, the developers are doing the most intelligent thing and smiting down anybody who does this because it's bad. Bad. It brings attention to the fact that they haven't done anything at all and haven't talked to us about anything. In fact, there has not been a red post here, a new red post, in weeks. So it's pretty rough. It's pretty bad right now. But, on the bright side, there are some things still to come out of it. So, I do have another thing is here. Another thread is questions. Somebody's pulling up an old quote from Devin Carver. When I've been working on World vs. World for 11 months, then we'll talk. Alright, so I do actually have a developer post response. Mark Katzbach. Okay, he's going to jump in and answer these as honestly as he's able. Okay, to the question of what's being currently worked on for World vs. World, the answer is, we can't talk about that right now. Once the in-development features reach a state where we, as a company, are comfortable talking about them, then we will. Number 2. Some player requests are under development. Please be commander tags. Please be some GVG. Get a special arena for the people that really want to do it. Yeah, perhaps even some changes to new siege, some traps. I'd like that. We had some great suggestions in the past. Let's see. Some player requests are under development. What those are and when they will be completed, I can't say at this time for reasons mentioned above. Number 3. Devin is very busy with his job duties and only has limited time to devote to reading the forums. If he spent the time demanded on him for responding just to threads, he wouldn't be able to do his job very well, essentially. So, Mark Katzbach is patrolling the forums, trying to get what information he can, and then he goes and tells everybody else what's up. So, Devin Carver doesn't really read the forums much at all, and he certainly doesn't reply. Personally, I would love to see a new feature in the forums where a developer can just click, yes, I have read this post, just to make sure that we know they're actually still reading this. That would be great. Just a little red icon would appear that says, this has been read by developers. You could even make it automatic so they wouldn't have to do any more extra clicking. I'm sure any generic web host person can pull something up like that really easily. Mark it read by developers, checkmark. That'd be cool with me. But anyway, that's a forum rant. So let's get into the game itself. Alright, some things that we're talking about that really kind of get complicated. I've got a couple different notes here on things I wanted to talk about. One was the World vs. World CDI, Community Discussion Interactive thing. I do seem to remember watching a live stream footage where there's a developer promising he will be posting that today, if not this weekend, by like Friday. I seem to remember that being like a couple of months ago, and I'm really wondering what happened to him. If maybe he got in a car accident or something. I'm really worried that he got hurt or something like that because nothing's come out of it. Yes, I know I'm a little bit bitter, but that's just the way I am right now. I've been neglected. Nobody's hugged me lately. So, World vs. World CDI is delayed, I'm guessing indefinitely. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody goes and makes their own CDI right now just because they're tired of waiting for it. So, yeah, that's been delayed for months. The lack of World vs. World activity on the forums and posts. There basically has not been a red post until people started reviving the dead threads from like a year ago. Yeah. Let's see. Information for July releases. Oh, July releases. Hey, we're out now. Cool. All the July releases are up and running, except for the new Living World story gets bugged at the second NPC you talk to, basically. So, that's kind of lame, but hey, just the way it goes. Besides, it's not even World vs. World content. But anyway, we're hoping something will come out of it. I guess they had a few small bug fixes with this one, but really nothing too drastic, nothing too amazing. So yeah, for entertainment, I'll go ahead and get into this Orange Swords combat. Oh, wow, I guess the map's ours and safe and stuff. Well, that's a darn shame. I was hoping to kill something. So let's go float on over to another map. I'll queue up for EV. And in the meantime, I'll hop on over to J-Core Borderlands, because apparently we own something there. It'd be nice to get some combat for you guys. Okay. Move out here in a couple seconds. Okay, so some theories. Now, I do have some information for you on future balance changes. They are actually going to be coming up with some new changes here pretty soon that I think will actually be a nice, refreshing change. They made a post, or sorry, they made a live stream event where Dolphy took some notes on all the things that are happening, that are coming out with these new changes. Let me go see if I can pull up that page real quick. I don't need my mail. Oh, I guess I can't find that. Cool. So, I'm going to work my way on over to Hills, see if I can get myself into a fight. That'd be fun. Anyway, so Dolphy posted some information on basically the developer notes from their live stream. They made some changes. They're going to make some changes to Ranger and Engineer. Engineer is getting a bit of a nerf, particularly with the turrets, the explosive automated defenses, powder packing turrets. So whenever the turrets explode, you get knocked back. Well, currently they knock you back for about 300, and when it's going to be changed, they're nerfing that down to 150, which I think is probably a wise idea, particularly for PvP. Me and about 4 other people decided to get on engineers, and we did a 5-man engineer team in PvP, and despite the fact that we are terrible at engineers, we just dominated the shit out of things for like 6 matches in a row. The only thing that killed us was just heavy Condi groups. Oh! This could be bad. Okay, so we got ourselves a fight. Cool. Alright, so we got some incoming. That'd be great. Oh boy. Eternal Battlegrounds queue. Shit, I'm gonna re-enter queue just for that. Oh boy. This is gonna be fun. Anyway, so hold on a second. Tell me they didn't just open field arrow cart. Ow. Yeah. God, camera angle. Oh God. I can't fucking see anything. Wow, that's rough. Yeah, I got killed. That sucks. I can't see anything on the damn map. Oh, there I am. Alright, so back to what I was trying to tell you about. Current theories and things that are going on. So let me pull up the page from Guild Wars. Entanglement. No, I don't need entanglement. So let's go to the Guild Wars 2 Mage page. Okay. We're talking about the upcoming changes to Engineer and Ranger from Dolphy.net. Okay, Engineer, they're getting some accelerated turrets getting nerfed that way. There's going to be power wrench changes doing more damage, and that's cool and all. The AED is getting a boost. Some of the elixirs are getting redone a little bit. Personal battery ram is getting boosted in power by 20%. I like that. The utility goggles is actually getting a nice buff, so you can do revealed on thieves. It's pretty cool and all. I think that'll be well worth it. Tell you what, since this fight here is going pretty intense still. I don't know, it doesn't look good for Blackhead on this one. And again, it's a paper keep, so I'm not terribly worried about the lost. Okay, so I'll move us back. Other things that might be interesting really is coming up with Ranger. Okay, a big thing that's changing is read the wind. In addition to longbow moving faster for projectiles, the attack speed is increasing now, which is pretty awesome. Probably about 10% or so. So faster longbow attacks. It's also going to have improved damage at short and medium range. So that's a nice big boost as well. So rangers are actually going to be a bit more formidable with their longbows, which means they'll probably actually have a bit more team support ability. I also heard they may end up doing some reduced cooldowns on barrage. If that's the case, then you've got some massive AoE cripple that'll be cast faster, that'll do more damage, and really be more worth bringing along. Rangers are actually going to have more of a place in War's World than they currently do. Rangers are generally looked down upon because of their general lack of AoE attacks, and, well, they're relatively squishy for the most part, especially in large fights. So yeah, we actually have a use for the Rangers here shortly. Let's see. What else was there? Great swords getting some improvements as well. Longbows improvements, axe improvements. They're getting might. Some bear shouts. Entangled is getting buffed and nerfed at the same time. The cooldown's going from 150 seconds to 60 seconds, and additionally the entangling part is no longer going to last 20 seconds. It's going down to 5. So buff part, nerf part, that's just the way they're doing it. So I think that's probably a good thing overall for Rangers, because the long cooldown is really not that fun, but it's also no longer going to be so overpowered as it currently is, because some people just get stuck because I can't get out. So that part's going to be good. So we'll go ahead and move off of those changes that are coming through. Let's see now. Rank lines, like I said, we're predicting rank lines. I am personally expecting we're going to be seeing some huge World vs. World changes when the balance patch comes out. Not necessarily sweeping changes. I'm suspecting they're going to be saving that for the next major release, more than likely after the Living Story comes out. So if you have any hopes for World vs. World changing on a large level, like factions-based combat instead of just current World vs. World combat, then you're going to end up having to wait a little while before you get what you want, because yeah, it's not gonna go that way, at least not at this current time. So in the meantime, you can look at some smaller changes, perhaps commander tags, perhaps in the future, such as I don't know, probably near the end of August you might start seeing some improvements for World vs. World. That's probably when they'll come out with the balance patch, near the end of August, when the 2-year anniversary. So it's a potential. It's a potential. I'm not going to count on that for sure. Oh boy, we got ourselves a fight. HB going balls deep. Screw it, let's go. Going in. Come on, get one. Oh, that's a shame. Oh well, so I didn't get to do anything on that one. Get like 1 bag out of it. 1 bag. I feel so sad. So, as is going along, my predictions for what's about to come out. I would say you're going to see some balance changes by the end of August on the 2-year anniversary. I'm suspecting they're going to release a few nice features with that as well. You know, since there's nice fights here, I'm just going to stay on this map. I don't need to go to EB, because we got some good faction going on here. So, I'll be roaming with ONS a bit there. I think they're doing a private raid, but I don't care. I'm going to come with them anyway. But, yeah, there is that. Other features I suspect are going to come out, along with a few balance changes. I think you might find some more support roles for Engineer as well. Perhaps even some additional stability. I do believe that they have decent team support with their elixirs, but they don't really have a whole lot of large team support. Engineers have a kind of a limited role similar to Rangers, though they have a lot more AoE. They just don't necessarily have the same abilities currently that you would find with other classes like Guardian, Warrior. They just don't have the same level of impact that they really could if you had the right setup, the right traits perhaps. They don't really have very many stun breakers, which is pretty brutal. But I suspect you might see a little bit of that too. Some improvements with the turrets, but that's really not going to affect the large fights anyway. Let's see. Rank lines. Yeah, I suspect we may see some rank lines come the end of August. I'm not going to say what once for sure. It's potential for Golem Mastery because we know that's been in works for a very long time. But then again, maybe not. I'm hoping for at least a few new supply traps. Perhaps like a Golem Disabling supply trap or something like that. Or siege prevention, something along those lines. That would be really kind of a nice, pleasant surprise. Anyway, that's just a guess. There's nothing really hard backing that up at the moment. So, we'll know when they post a red post on the forums. Let's see. As for like major overhauls, faction-based Warwick World, I'm suspecting next year, like spring of next year, because there was talk of an expansion inside the Guild Wars 2 financial quarterly report a while ago. There was some mention of it that could end up being, but there's no way of knowing for sure until we're actually inside Arena in its offices, and I'm pretty certain they keep that under lock and key. So that's just looking at what says on paper. It could just be something they put down to get their investors excited. Maybe not. I don't know. But anyway, that is something. I wouldn't expect to see it till at least spring, because it's going to take about that long for them to finish up this current living store. They've got a lot more to do. They're doing a decent build-up as it is, but I think there's going to be a lot more content to happen before they actually finish up Season 2, considering Season 1 took a frickin' year to do, and that sucked. Anyway, so new maps for factions. Again, that'd be at least a year out, so I'm really not expecting to see anything like that anytime soon. So Edge of the Mist is about all we're going to get for new content, really, maybe with the exception of ranks and supply traps, but you're not going to be exploring any new maps soon. If I'm wrong, I'll be very happy and pleasantly so. And pleasantly surprised, really. So, there is that. Okay. Changes to Bannering the Lord. That's one thing that I can definitely expect sometime around August, more than likely coming with new commander tags. Both, this is speculation, but I'm assuming they're going to go with a debuff. So if you banner the Lord, he's going to have, like, say, a 30-second debuff before you can banner him again. Say, Resurrection Sickness. Maybe it also, just make it so that he can't get bannered for 30 seconds or so. I don't know. I mean, that would probably be the most logical thing for them to do, at least at this point in time. We'll have to wait and see. But anyway, I think that would be a good way of doing it, and it's something we'll probably end up seeing. Let's see. What was called CDI theories? Yeah. So onwards towards what you might actually start seeing. Big changes coming up. Since the ArenaNet is not really being involved with the community and making these changes, you're going to start seeing some additional changes within the community itself. For example, the Tier 1 community, particularly from Blackgate, ONS is going to be hosting a guild versus guild kind of seminar, basically an information grouping where they're going to be getting together anybody that wants to really learn more about guild versus guild. Let me go pull up the forums real quick. Okay, where is this? Oh, I'm probably gonna get killed. Nope, I'm still alive. So, Tier 1 Guild vs. Guild Workshop. Okay, August 2nd at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, that's going to be this Saturday. So in about 4 days from now, there's going to be a Guild vs. Guild workshop. We're bringing together basically anybody that really wants to learn more about Guild versus Guild action. This is particularly aimed towards Tier 1. However, this really will be open to any world, any player, any person that wants to come out and play. So, that'll be real nice to look forward to. I'm intending to show up with my guild. We're actually growing. We're sealing somewhere around from 17 to 18 for our runs, so we've got enough to do it. It's just got to be able to build up that experience and confidence. So, I'm looking forward to that. I'm probably gonna try and live stream that event as well, so you'll be able to see that with us in the future. Let's see. Okay, that's going to be hosted by Onslaught. The driver panel is going to be in Intego, Jericho, Charles, James, Gizmore, and Odinzu. Now, I'm only familiar with a handful of those commanders, particularly Gizmore, but I do know they're quite experienced within the Guild vs. Guild community, and I'm looking forward to hearing what they have to say. I'm assuming a lot of it's going to be about the composition and the general field tactics, not necessarily specifics such as portal bombs or things like that. Not entirely common within the Guild vs. Guild matchups as far as I've seen, but still, it's an option that could be used. That'd be more of a guild-specific strategy versus an overall strategy, which is, I think, what this meeting is going to be largely about. So, that's something we're going to have to just wait and see on that. I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, I'll be sharing that with you guys, and I'll be posting the finished video afterwards. So, hopefully we'll be able to enjoy that together. Let's see, other things coming up within the community. There is concerns over what's going to be happening within Tier 2. There's been a lot of guilds kind of dropping out, getting bored of the stale gameplay. I know Tarnished Ghost has been having some changes with their guilds and how they're getting set up. I do know that they're going towards more of a War Council style than they were a bit more informed previously, so I'm hoping that works out well for them, but it really depends on how much interest their guilds have. So Tarnished Coast, they either could be rebuilding, repairing, or they could end up just folding down, moving down a tier or two. It really depends. For their sake and for everybody's sake, really, I hope they don't, because it's really damaging to a community just to have anybody get taken out in general, so I don't really like to see that. But if it does, it does. And well, it's just it's the way it's going to be, really. One second, I'm going to try and stop him from getting in. No, don't die. Oh shit, I'm losing supply. I gotta get back. I'm dying. Okay, well, at least I stopped a few of them from getting in. Stop him. Shit. Oh god, I'm in trouble. I lost almost all my supply. God, I'm being a noob today. That's okay, just because I feel like it. Anyway, so let's see. Out of my other notes, for other episodes I really wanted to talk about, well, one episode I'm going to be doing soon is going to be why certain classes tend to dominate, or at least have a higher population in World vs. World than others. Rangers suffer, engineers suffer, thieves can suffer, especially when it comes to large teams. So it's a reason why is limited, or at least not obvious, team support. Because Guardians and Warriors, they're pretty straightforward what they do and how they help the team. But other classes, they do just about as well, but they're not necessarily as straightforward and not necessarily as heavily utilized, which is, well, unfortunate for those classes, and they're suffering because of it. So hopefully with the coming changes, that'll actually be a bit eased, and we'll start to see more variety. Oh sweet, new available. Well, your game will start in 3 minutes. Yay! So I can actually go check out this new PvE content. So I don't think I'm going to live stream that, but I figure I'll at least get through some more content for you guys. Oh, yeah, they're really interested in cooking us out. So, yeah, before I get going with this, I wanted to get a few more items out of the way. Let's see, top support classes. Some things that I really hope come in the future builds, particularly the future balance patches. Like for PvE, I hope they make some changes to the Defiance system. The way it works is not entirely straightforward to some of the players. Sure, it's relatively well said, but a lot of people just don't get it or just don't care, and that's really not beneficial to the game at all. But as for PvP in particular, I really hope to see some changes with it, traits and skills, more team buff skills for the classes that generally don't have a team support role. I've never heard of a team healing ranger. There's a reason for that, and I would like to see some more variety where they're not necessarily going to attempt to do healing, but some more things that can be beneficial to keeping the team alive. While the healing spring is great, blast finishes on that are amazing, keeping the team alive, but generally you don't want to bring a ranger into the middle of a Zerg fight. regrouping is cool and all if it can get a ranger into that situation, but it's really not something you can rely on like an elementalist, which makes it naturally shifting away from interest in the ranger. Why am I talking about ranger so much? Because I'm actually working on a video for it. There are some good ranger support, and I am going to try and highlight a little bit of that, but yeah, it's a small pet project. Really ironic considering I'm not a ranger, but I'm doing it just because it's interesting and fun to do. Let's see. Other things, stealth reveal. Engineer is getting a new stealth reveal, just like the Ranger's Sikkim skill. So thieves, watch out, you're getting hunted. It would be kind of nice to see some other classes get that as well. Perhaps not necessarily Guardians or Warriors, just because they currently have a good setup as they are, but certain classes are a bit more vulnerable. So Engineer is definitely going to benefit from that. So then again, the goggles utility skill is really just not commonly brought, not unless you're expecting some thieves. So, I mean, I guess that's fair game. Let's see. Ranger, stealth reveal. It would be nice if you just get stealth reveal on all your pet shout skills. More pet AoE, then again, maybe I'm just not familiar with Ranger enough to be able to say that for sure. The big thing they really could use is some more cleave attacks. Make the arrows themselves have like a larger AoE circle, or AoE cone, if you will, because like while the piercing arrows is great and all, they generally still only hit 1 to 2 people anyway, just because there's not enough of them in a line. So larger cone would probably benefit them a bit. Perhaps some more blasts, some more like either combo fields or combo finishers. You can probably work that with your traits. Maybe not for the combos, but at least a couple skills could use that. Let's see, AoE circle for pet attack, F2. I think that'd be kind of cool. Let's see. Ranger, there are actually making those nice Ranger changes that I was hoping for in the first place with the longbow changes. Engineer, I would really love to see some protection offered by the Engineer for the teammates, like certain trait, a minor trait or a new Grandmaster trait or something like that, or just a trait change to make it so the potions or the elixirs will give your teammates protection whenever you throw it, or at least for certain elixirs or something, just to allow your team more support, more survivability. I think that'd be beneficial. Anyway, we just got booted out. I'm going to go check out the new content. I hope you've enjoyed my rant here. I wish I could have shown you the forum posts on the Firefox itself, so I'm sorry I wasn't able to do that. But anyway, thank you for watching. This is the Leith, episode 8 of Into the Mists. I'll see you in the mists.